Yeah! Must be Saturday. The Paradigm Shift, episode 15 with a special guest today. Oh, I'm excited for this one, in case you couldn't tell by the passion and the intensity. Just waiting for the articulate Big Bad David Meltzer. Let's do this. Oh, what's up, CLS Experience? Nice to see you. Alexandra, Cookie Girl, how are you? Oh, everybody's here today. It's getting nuts today. BK, how you doing, pal? Henny 2.0. Oh, Jakey Bakey. Jakey, can I ask you Percy, buddy? What's your business model? Woo! We're gonna get crazy today. Mark Goldstein, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, Jakey. Jakey, to the moon? Where's your articulate alligator? We're gonna get nuts. What's up, Jesse? Jessica, did you run this morning? Don't lie. B. Kizzle. No separation anxiety there. Kelly. Oh, what's up, Ann, girl? Brain on, coffee ready, right? Let's do this. Oh, we're on fire today. What's up, Marky? Big Bad Dave, I see you. Have no fear.
Rare form today, Marky Miller. I see you, Dave. Yeah! There he is.
What's going on?
Just when I thought I couldn't be in a more elevated state, I see your handsome mug, and I'm even skyrocketing from there. How you doing, Big Dave?
Oh, what's going on? Craigie Siegel, the incredible speaker, author, entrepreneur, motivator, inspirer. Look at that body, dude. I just got to tell you. Oh, my goodness. You look so much bigger on screen than you do in person. It's amazing.
My mom's on here, Big Dave. Say hello to Helene Siegel.
Hello, Helene Siegel. Shabbat Shalom, Helene,
Yes.
my dear. I love your son.
I love you, Dave. And the truth of the matter is, my physique might even get a little bigger right now because I'm in a boot for 2 weeks.
Oh, my goodness. Hey, you didn't break your foot, though, right? It's sprained?
Correct. Sprained ligament.
You're a football star. This is the life of a football star.
I love you so much. It was
You
so
like
good
my
to
free
see you
hat?
once again.
You like my free hat? Free promotion?
Oh, hell yeah. Who's that, for Jay?
For Jason Waller.
We had the best time last weekend, didn't we?
Oh my gosh, such a good time. It's so nice to see you. Jakey Bakey hooked us up big time with the Wallers and the Power Home, the Underdog right here, the True Underdog podcast, everyone there. Joya's in the house. Do you know Joya? She's amazing. Happy 4th of July. I have not seen her forever.
And I had the best time personally bonding with you and your family and your wife, Julie. I just love all of you guys. It was so much fun. And this is just the beginning as we continue to tour the world and it opens up.
It's opening up, my friend. We're going to be traveling everywhere. I got Malta, Italy, Portugal. It's in Orlando next week. It's getting crazy.
I love it. And we're going to have a special guest on in a little bit, a former Olympian. I'm super excited. But let's dive in right now. You ready for me?
I am all ready for you. I'm going to ask you a question first, though.
Oh, plot twist. Woo! Let's do it.
Plot twist. All right. The alligator has a question for you.
Yeah.
Every time that I speak, I learn lessons to get better, right? My philosophy is if I get 1% better, it takes 72 speeches till I'm twice as good as I was. That's the rule of 72 created by Einstein about compound interest. For every 1% you get better, it takes 72 segments in order to double the productivity of what you were. What was the 1%? What is the one lesson you learned to get 1% better for the next speech you give?
Yeah, just to continue to own my craft and just understand that, like, just because I feel natural, like doing these lives and so forth, it's a different animal when you're speaking in front of people and so forth. And although I love it and, you know, I'm proud of the performance, I also acknowledge that there's so much work to do and just different logistics, right? Like captivating a live audience is different than captivating a virtual audience and so forth. And just understanding that I have to continue to beat on my craft, continue to get better. And it's one of the reasons why, you know, I left lunch a little bit early because I wanted to go see our good friend Dave Nurse perform, just to kind of just get bits and pieces of how other people operate. And obviously, look, I'm a work in progress. Let me be perfectly clear. I have so much room to grow. And I think that's the beauty of it, Dave, because we're all a work in progress. And the first one is under the belt, and I'm so excited about the future.
I think you had a great start, and I love your perspective of pursuing your potential as a speaker. And it is an art. It takes a lot of practice, and it's a lot different than just conversing with someone or talking here and answering questions. When you have to present nonstop for an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours, and keep people captivated and understand what they're listening for, not listening to you. It's an evolution that will take
100%.
place, but I wish I was as good as you when I was your age and on my first one. So congratulations. Keep on learning. Remember the rule of 72, everyone. Get
I love you.
1% better, and in 72 speeches, you'll be twice as good as you were.
I
All right.
love you.
Anyway.
I'm
All
obsessed
right.
with
It's
you.
your turn.
All right.
The spiritual starfish.
And I see Priscilla on here. Priscilla, we're going to get you on in 1 minute. I'm going to ask Dave one more question. Dave, I was looking at your content from this week, as I always do, because I love to learn. And obviously, I'm obsessed with you, in case the audience didn't know this. And one of the things that you were talking about this week is about healing relationships. I think this is something that everybody can relate to. Tell us what you mean.
Well, understanding, first of all, where the relationships lie is part of healing those relationships. So the first relationship is with self. The second is with the highest power of energy, source, love, and lessons that exist, however you define that. And the third relationship is with everything else that's connected to and through you, with appreciation, forgiveness, and accountability. And so I took a tri-pronged approach of helping people facilitate what they're doing to interfere with the great powerful source that they are, the liberated light that they carry, the unbelievable lessons that they have access to. So starting with self, going to the higher power, and then everything else, understanding that the past, the present, and the future are all connected. And the better we heal that interference between not only the self, the higher power, and everything else, but also the trauma and the experience and the pain as an indicator to clear the interference between us and our potential, just like your speaking career.
Yeah, so true. And also, like, some people have relationships from the past that maybe ended ugly. And for this, and listen, this is just my perspective, but I'll suggest this to the audience. Like, grudges don't get us anywhere. It actually requires more energy. Just practice forgiveness. Even if you don't think it was your fault, whatever the case may be, just forgive them, forgive yourself, and start with a clean slate and move on. Life's too short to hold grudges.
And pray for their happiness. You know what? If they're happy, they cannot carry a grudge, and you would have no ill feelings or interference in that relationship. So understand and pray for their happiness. You'll clear that interference. That's the Articulate Alligator. For Mrs. Siegel, hanging in there tough today. The mensch, Craig Siegel here. We're going to bring your friend on in mine.
Yes.
This will be a lot of fun.
The passionate porpoise. Priscilla, I'm going to bring you on now.
Porpoise.
Oh, man. Unbelievable. We're going to bring on Priscilla. What's going on today, Dave?
I'm just living the Olympic dream. The Olympics are coming up. I got my favorite high jumper coming on here. And she's also a great personality and an inspirer herself. There she is.
What's going on?
Oh my God, you're going to have to delete this video after this, Priscilla. I'm sorry about what's going to happen to you.
No, I'm loving it. I'm so sorry I was a little late. I actually just came from a job interview for a summer job interview. So I was like, I have to go. I have a really important interview that I have to get to. And the job was like, okay, I guess so. I was like, this is more important than anything.
You're interviewing for the wrong job because I don't have your resume. What the heck?
I know. You know what? Let me fire it up. Let me make it sparkle. Let me let it stand out. And I'll get it over to you. Your people talk to my people. We'll make it happen.
All right, because I only hire people that have a desire to be what they must be, and you carry that desire to be what you must be. But you also have your own mentors. And I was having a quick first question, as I always do. Who are your mentors? Who do you look as milestone people that have inspired you?
You know what? When I was younger, it was entertainment people like Selena and Beyonce, because they were these women, these powerful women that stood the test of time on their own. They didn't need anybody else. They captured an audience and they captured people's attention. And now as I get older and I've been through track meets and traveling the world, I am so motivated and inspired by everybody. Everybody that has this positive energy, that is fighting their own fight, and seeing how they can really just teach me lessons. And it doesn't even have to be, sometimes it's people who are negative. Because I'm like, ooh, I don't want that energy. I don't want that around me. I don't want those kinds of people to gravitate around me. So I literally am inspired, and I grow and I learn from every single person that I have an interaction with. And I love that because I'm learning along the way every step of the journey.
You guys are on fire today, both of you.
You know I always bring my A game for you. You know
You do, Priscilla. And let me just take one step backwards. In case the audience wasn't familiar with Priscilla Loomis, she's an Olympian, an entrepreneur, a content creator, a motivational speaker. She's a juggernaut in all facets of life. Her and I have had the opportunity to connect in the past, and her energy is absolutely second to none. She's a real-life superhero. And Priscilla, I just want to take a second. I saw your post in regards to the other day with the Olympics, and I just want to send you my love, my respect, my admiration for you. I know sometimes in life, you know, we're dealt curveballs that we're not expecting, and it doesn't always go the way we plan. But I know you, and I know you have other big dreams as well. And I have a feeling this is going to be opening up some other doors for you that maybe you weren't expecting. So not saying necessarily it's a blessing in disguise, but I do 100% believe your best is yet to come.
Thank you. I am so grateful. It rocked my world. It really, really did. And as you guys were speaking earlier, you know, forgiveness. And that's something that, you know I should be at the games, but when politics gets behind it and other people have, you know, kind of a hand in my career, and they feel a certain type of way about me and they blocked my blessing to go to the games, it took me a day. And then I realized exactly what you said. I have to forgive them and keep it moving. I did everything that I possibly could. I have always tried to be a leader and a warrior, and I did. And so I know that my next journey will be just as amazing, just as inspiring. I'm not going to let it keep me down. You know, I had my day and now I move on, and I'm going to be a badass regardless of what happened.
You'll always be a badass.
You are a badass. I want to reveal a little secret that a lot of people don't know about me, Craigie. So in college, I pole vaulted. So I cleared 4.6 meters. But what I learned from jumping, now I cheated because I had a pole, and I'm sure Priscilla jumps higher than you and I are tall. We're like a warm up. We're like a warm up jump, Craig. She could jump over us like as a warm up jump.
Yeah,
Craig's like Craig's 5'2" and I'm 5'7".
Oh my gosh, yes. I'm sorry.
No, I'm joking. So anyway, but what my favorite lesson about pole vaulting was out of all the sports I ever participated in, it was the only sport that it was up to me. That, you know, I pole vaulted, you know, at the Mount Sac games with the world, world class people, and I was one of the worst there that qualified, and you know, and I also qualified for nationals and was one of the best at times. But what I learned was I could only be me. And that comparison would only rob my joy as inferior or superior. For you, you know, as you went through this lesson and the lesson of forgiveness, I'm glad that you took away within a day. But there's also the fact that you did your best, you learned lessons, and you had fun.
Yeah.
And life is that simple. For you, when you're staring at that bar and it's the third jump, you know, what's going through your mind as far as reaching your potential and doing your best? Because a lot of people get in their own way and start looking and focusing on what they don't want. What if I miss? What if I don't make it? Instead of focusing on all the capabilities they practice with.
It's a great question.
Things like you just said, it's the difference of the mindset. So most people are like, oh my God, I only get one more chance. What happens if I don't make it? What happens? I truly live in positivity and self-value, self-worth. So I know that I still have the opportunity to clear this. If I clear it, it'll be great. It'll be awesome. And I've worked too hard. I've been in the gym. I've done everything possible. There's nothing keeping me down. So in my mind, there is no negativity. It's just giving me another opportunity. So in all those moments, I think that's what happens. It's the self-talk. It's the self-motivation. People always think about the negative, whereas for me, 1 + 1 = unicorns. Anything can happen. Anything possibly can. I literally just did an interview yesterday with National Geographic, and she's like, wow, you're like really positive. wow, are you scared? I'm like, no. I was like, I've been given the gift of opportunity. Okay, so now I get to close one chapter. Now I get to do whatever the hell I want to do. I could be an astronaut for all I want to do. Like, I can do anything. So I know that I've learned so much. And so in those moments, you have to think about the positive. What if everything works out? What if you can fly? What if you can be better than you ever thought you could? This is the power and then all of a sudden those vibes start coming, that energy, those butterflies. And now you have that endurance and you have that fight and you have that spirit to clear any obstacle that comes your way. So for me, I'm not a third jump kind of girl. I usually get it on the first attempt. But when it comes to those things, those times where it does the third attempt, I'm like, I've been giving a third attempt. I'm not going to mess it up because I've worked too hard. I believe in myself. And this height is worthy of me. Like, I know I'm capable of doing this. So
you guys get me amped up right now.
Let's go. Yes. Like you have to shift that mindset. Let's do this. Let's go.
I love this. And this synergy right here with us three is special. And you guys are so similar as well. That's why I love that we brought this all together today. Priscilla, I have to ask you, because the Olympics, it's not an opinion, it's a fact. That's the highest level of competition in the world is the Olympics. Yeah. It's the best of the best in the world. In your personal opinion, what's more challenging when training for the Olympics? Is it the physicality standpoint or the mental standpoint?
Mental. 1,000,000% mental. Always will be. Anybody can go to the gym, follow a program, lift a weight, put it down. Lift a weight, put it down. The mental aspect, I always say that track and field, especially for me, was 70%. Mental can control everything because it's going to get tougher, right? You have to go into the gym knowing that you're going to have to lift something that's going to be difficult. You're not going to the gym to just kind of lift weights that are easy. You have to challenge yourself to get better. So you have to wake up and be aggressively excited to get to the gym. You have to be so motivated that you want to go to the track and do those 400s. You have to want to do the little work that's tedious and annoying. And then you have to balance your everyday life. And then you have to think like a champion every single day. Anybody can just go to the track. You've seen people, they work out. They're like, oh, I go to the gym. Are they fulfilled? Probably not. Half the time, no. They're following a program that they don't really know. They don't really understand. But when you have this Olympic mindset, you are pushing yourself because you are training to be number one. And that does not mean that it only happens, 1 day, 2 days. You have to train 365 days. Even on your rest days, you got to stretch. You got to work on your mental. You got to work with a sports psychologist. It's the mental aspect of it that is the most challenging, but literally the best thing about track and field, because you have overcome so much and you have to work on that positive self-talk, your resilience, your courage, your strength. It makes you the best person. We're not Olympians because, we can run fast, but it's about what we represent. Who are we? What have we learned? What is the growth that we've gone through? When you see Usain Bolt, he was running this, since he was 16. People followed him because of what he was saying in the interviews, because of what was going on behind the scenes. Sha'Carri Richardson, feel really bad about her situation, but she's a badass. We all followed her yes, she was obviously a queen on the track, but what was everything? It was the quotes that she was saying. All these things that set her apart. So mental is huge. It's everything. And that's why I really hate that there's a stigma on mental health. Mental health is everything. Why is it okay that we take care of our body, physical health, but our mental health is not that big of a deal? No, boo-boo, we don't do that. We focus on the mental. We focus on the mental every day. Every day.
I love Priscilla. I sit on the Olympic Committee, and I love that you point out the perspective of consistent, persistent pursuit of your potential, which was, you mentioned, I enjoy the consistent, everyday, persistent, without quit pursuit of my potential. I always tell people, the gift of my life is I'm one of the few people I know. I have activity I get paid for and activity I don't get paid for, but I rush outside my house in the morning to go to that activity.
Mhm.
And I also rush home because I can't wait to see what I have at home as well. And a lot of people, they don't do either. They dread, they have to go to work, they call it. And then they say, I have to go home. And I get to go to activity I get paid
Yeah.
for. And I get to go to activity I don't get paid for. And I enjoy that consistent, persistent pursuit, even though I can't jump but probably 4 feet without a
It's all
pole.
right. It's okay.
Without a pole. Without a
You
pole.
are,
But I'm
you are
very
still
fast.
kicking ass.
I'm very fast. When I'm scared, I'm even faster. So anyway, Craig, give me one more question and I got to go see my 11-year-old son. We got plans.
Yeah. Where you guys going? Anywhere good?
San Diego. We're going to San Diego, see grandma. My uncle's turning 87. We got big plans down in San Diego today.
Ooh.
I'll leave it with this, and maybe you both can just give your take on the answer.
Yeah.
Why do so many people fear failure, Dave?
Why do they feel failure? See, failure itself, it's not the failure that they fear, right? They fear their own light. See, what happens is people, they get a taste of what power is inside of them. See, you see people like Priscilla who has liberated her light, and she doesn't diminish her light in order to make other people feel good, right? She uses her light. She excavates herself to elevate others so that she is elevated as well. So people are afraid of their power. They're not afraid of failure. They're afraid of their own power. And so I find that if you can identify the triggers of the ego, the need to be right, offended, separate, inferior, superior, anxious, frustrated, angry, guilty, resentful, any of the triggers that you feel that put you into a state of mind of primal fear, right? The fight, flee, feed, or the other F word that Gary Vee likes to use. Because this is what happens. No, this is what happens when you're triggered by the ego. The blood leaves your brain so your body can react and fight and feed and all those things. Well, you're trying to use your higher power of thinking when you have no blood in the brain. It's the dumbest thing ever. And so it appears, right, false evidence appearing real in your mind that you're afraid of failure. You're not. What you're truly afraid of is the unbelievable power that's coming to you when you're challenged, when there's obstacles, voids, and shortages in front of you, when there's struggles. Because pain is just an indicator that you have a better place to be. Just like Priscilla saw in one day, she said, oh, I got a better place to be, a better situation, or my situation's getting better because this did not work out as I planned. Because guess what? There's a higher source of power that's coming through me that has a bigger plan for me. And this is just a stepping stone to that bigger place, better situation.
Dave is on fire today. My goodness.
I love it. You better go ahead.
Articulate Alligator.
This was too much fun. This is a nice trio that we have here today.
Oh, this down below here, this is like splitting the atom. Priscilla and I is like splitting an atom. There's so much power. We can big old mushroom cloud.
We should definitely work on something. We should definitely just travel the world together and just
fireside chat.
Like just drop bombs everywhere. Just like boom. We just did that.
That's it.
The Buddha bombs everywhere.
Boom.
I love you. I love you both.
You answered the question amazingly. The thing that I've learned as an athlete from this athlete perspective is that failure is a comparison. You're not like most of the time people when they say, oh, you talk about the ego, right? So for me, the first thing I thought of was, oh my God, I have to now tell people that I didn't make the Olympics. What are they going to think? And I was like, why the hell do I care? Why do I care?
Exactly.
Joy of what other people think.
Like, these people didn't know my journey. They don't know who I am. And that's the problem. We keep comparing ourselves because if you ask a lot of people, like, are you a failure? Did you fail? Do you feel like you failed? Most people, if you didn't have to ask anybody else, they'd be like, I tried. I did my best. So how are you failing? You tried. You gave it your all. You dedicated your time. How are you a failure? They're comparing themselves to other people. So once you realize that other people's opinions are none of your business, that fear of failure really is not a big deal. And honestly, for me, I fail and I grow. That's when I learn. When I win, I'm excited. I'm on a whole new level. But now that I didn't make these Olympic Games, let me tell you something. My fire is like nobody else's. I have things to go after. I have things to go get. I'm about to claim everything that I want. So fear of failure is non-existent. If you have any kind of, you went after something and it didn't work out, get ready because another door you're about to kick open and succeed in there. So that's what I'm saying.
Perfect way to end it. Thank you both so much for joining us today. Dave, I love you. Enjoy family time.
Let's do more. Priscilla, good to see you.
Priscilla, you come back anytime, girl.
Anytime you guys need me, I'm here. Let me get that resume over to you. I got you.
You got it. You got it. I'll be in New York. I'm going to come visit you guys. My daughter's moving.
Yes, let's do it.
All right, let's do it.
Power lunch coming.
Love you both.
Bye, guys.
Love you both. Have a good weekend. Bye. Happy July 4th. Too much fun. The Paradigm Shift, episode 15 in the books. Priscilla Loomis. Wow. What a fire. What desire. I don't think anyone would bet against her. Whatever she has planned next, forget about it. The Articulate Alligator, Big Bad Dave Meltzer. Unbelievable. I'm still riding high for my first live speaking engagement last week in Myrtle Beach. Although my foot might say otherwise, minor setback. Chicago, you can run, but you can't hide from me. Not only am I crossing that finish line, but we needed a plot twist. I'm coming. I'm PRing. I'm going to make everybody super proud. What's up, Allison? I see you, girl. Joannica, Rachel, I love you all so much. Sharpen the axe this weekend. Enjoy the holiday with your family. Enjoy the weekend. Be safe. Alexandra, Jessica, love you. Wouldn't be here without you. Jakey Bakey, what's your business model? Great IG Live today, Jakey. Love you all so much. If you're not in the CLS membership yet, joke's on you. What are you waiting for? Sign up right now. Love you guys.